What is the meaning of Wu Wei? The simple answer is doing nothing. The word is a translation of Wu Wei, first seen in the Tao Te Ching written by the Chinese sage Lao Tzu 2,500 years ago. Wu means nothing and Wei means doing. So doing nothing is a pretty apt translation. There are numerous other interpretations such as non-action, action without strife, and effortless action, and so on and so forth. Taking the word literally, some people think that Lao Tzu is advocating an easygoing, layback lifestyle, but it is quite a serious misunderstanding. Wu Wei, in fact, is a very profound concept. Wu Wei is undoubtedly an antidote to deal with today's ever-demanding world and a strategy you can ill afford to ignore. Although the practice has been around for thousands of years, it is still a well-kept secret. Ironically, many people can't see its merits because of its simplicity. They don't believe something so simple can be so powerful. What it says is that in anything that you do, identify the way nature flows and go with it. In this way, you'll be able to tap into the power of nature to get things done. You don't accomplish things on your own. You partner your effort with the flow of nature. Since nature is powerful, riding on its wave helps you get things done with less effort. Having said that, I believe you still have questions lingering in your mind. Why does Lao Tzu call the practice doing nothing? In fact, it is precisely the word nothing where much of the confusion arises. The problem is that most people associate nothing with the usual sense of the word. However, in the context of the ancient book Tao Te Ching, nothing has to do with the very fundamental concept of the philosophy, the Tao. The cosmos that we are in is mammoth. Surprisingly, while this is indefinitely huge, it is also in perfect harmony. Every star and planet exists peacefully alongside. Why is this possible? A dark, silent, and unifying force keeps every existence in order. Is almighty, ever-present, and yet without trace. Nobody knows what this force exactly is. Lao Tzu describes it as Tao, although you are free to give it any other names. While the universe is gigantic beyond our wildest imagination, it humbly submits to this silent, almighty force of the Tao. Something measureless was born before the emergence of the universe. Serene and desolate, it was solitary and unchanging, revolving unabated. It can well be mother of the universe, says Lao Tzu. The Tao is in everything that you can see, from the sun that rises in the morning and the birds that fly to the whispers of loved ones. Although Tao is almighty and omnipresent, no one knows what it looks like. We can't see, touch, hear, or smell it. It is a void. It is formless. For convenience, Lao Tzu gives it another name, nothing, or Wu in Chinese. It is what the nothing in Wu Wei means. Therefore, doing nothing is not about doing absolutely nothing, but working with the formless Tao to get things done. Since Tao is powerful, we can be a lot stronger if we work with it. The flow of nature is the flow of Tao. When you go with the flow, you are moving in tandem with the formless Tao. On many occasions, you don't even have to do anything. With a powerful Tao to back you up, you can accomplish more without having to work any harder. It is a secret source of excellence for any field, be it the arts, sports, sciences, you name it. By keeping themselves in a state of calm and ease of the flow, the performers bring out the best in them. All good performers will tell you that they can be at their best only when they are natural. When they are distracted and become unnatural, their performance goes downhill. Therefore, all best performers practice the art of Wu Wei, although they don't necessarily give it the same name. At the heart of the practice of Wu Wei is a deep respect for nature. But you're likely to be asking another question. Since Tao is nothing and invisible and we don't even know what it exactly looks like, how are we going to work with it? Fortunately, although we can't see Tao per se, we can see it in its manifestations. It is just like although we can't see the electric current because it's invisible, we know that electricity is working when it lights up a bulb. Where can we see the manifestation of the Tao? Well, we can see it everywhere. Since everything is a creation of Tao, everything that we see in this world is its manifestation. You and I, the house that we lived in, the food that we eat, they are all manifestations of the Tao. We see the Tao in action through the behavior of everything we see. Having said that, we must also be aware that although everything is a manifestation of Tao, many of them are adulterated with elements that blind us to the true nature of Tao. The more untainted the thing is, the more truthful it is in the reflection of the Tao. Of all the manifestations that we can see, nature tops the list, especially when it is in its primitive form. When we see how the earth grows the crops and the rain irrigates the farm, we know the enormous power of nature and we appreciate the almightiness of the Tao behind it. It explains why going with the flow of nature can be so powerful, because when we go with the flow of nature, we are following the Tao. This is what Wu Wei gets us to do. If we can respect nature and work with it, nature is on our side and it stacks the odds in our favor with the power of Tao, making what we do more effortless and effective. Nature is a great partner in what we do. We must, however, never forget that we are just part of the flow when working with it. We are not the flow. We are sometimes in control of things to a certain extent, sometimes having no control at all. See the kite flying in the sky? The kite is free and easy, but it can't control itself. What it can do is nothing but to enjoy the flight. The kite flyer on the ground, on the other hand, has some control. In fact, their joy is to be in control of the kite. Even then, they have to exert their control in considerations of other conditions such as the wind flow and the strength of the string, etc. No one has absolute control over a flow. When you are going with the flow, it is therefore of fundamental importance that you let go of your ego and follow the lead of the flow of nature. You get things done by joining forces with nature, not controlling it. If you can apply the wisdom of Wu Wei to everything you do, or even things that you have to put up with, even adversity is strength. You are calm and easy, and yet things move naturally. You get things done without unnecessarily exerting yourself. As a matter of fact, Wu Wei is not just about getting things done. It is an approach to life, not just a technique. With the practice of Wu Wei, you can remain calm and easy while seeking out new opportunities, quenching your thirst for knowledge, and thriving in competitive work environments without having to suffer the stress and anxiety associated with hard work. It also helps you find your true balance, be present, and live life to its fullest. The harmony with the universe enriches your entire existence. How to make Wu Wei a part of your life? Well, I myself am quite curious about the practice and have been studying it for decades. And it led me to lay down a 4-step approach to help you make the wisdom truly yours. You can find it in my book, Wu Wei Comes Alive. Let's check it out by clicking the link below. Thank you very much for watching.